What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to share with you how to create an insane amount of momentum in your life. And if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're coasting, I want to show you how do you really genuinely break out of it. Now, I'm coming to you with 500 clients worth of experience, and I want to share with you, first I want to share with you my own story so that you can, if you can relate to it, and I want to share with you what I've done with other clients as well. So about 2 years ago, I left a coaching company that I had worked for five plus years. I had done coaching, I had done high ticket sales, and I just felt like I had capped out at that company. I feel like I had reached my potential there. And so I wanted to leave. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I just knew that I needed to leave. I needed to get out of that situation. So I left that company. And at that point, I had a crossroad. I didn't know if I wanted to go back to engineering. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, or if I wanted to continue to go into coaching. And what happened was for the next 6 months, I went into an extremely, extremely dark period of my life. I was very depressed. I was playing poker consistently, and I would consider it gambling at that time. I was just, trying to make a career out of poker, but I was pretty much just gambling. I was smoking a ton of weed. I was drinking. I had no schedule. And I just felt stuck. I felt like I didn't have a purpose. I didn't know what direction to go. And because I didn't know what direction to go, I didn't choose any direction. And I kind of just stayed stewed in this crap, if you will, for 6 months. And I felt really, really depressed, like probably the most depressed I've ever felt in my life. I was crying all the time. It was hard for me to get out of bed. So if you've been through something like that, I totally understand how it feels. And I can sympathize and empathize with you because I went through it myself. And it was really, really, really challenging. And what got me out of it actually was my birthday came around, and I just made a decision on my birthday. I made a decision that I'm going to do these 5 things, and I'm going to share them with you. I'm going to share them with you actually just right now. I just decided that I just needed to get a tiny bit of momentum to move forward. And so I was going to do 1 push-up a day. I was going to say 3 things I was grateful for. As soon as I woke up, I was going to do 1 minute of prayer. And then I was going to do these other 2 things, which are read Napoleon Hill's self-confidence formula and read this paragraph that I concocted about like the future version of myself, what I wanted to be. And I just committed that I'm going to do those things every single day. I don't care how shitty I feel. I'm just going to do those things every single day. And I actually committed to myself that I'm going to do that for a year. So long story short, 2 months go by. Start just building some momentum. And these were the minimums. So what I'll say is like I was actually started eating healthier. I started running, started going to the gym. So the 1 push-up turned it really more into like 30 minutes of activity. But regardless, I set these minimum daily standards that I had to do. And I set them so low that it didn't matter if I was depressed. It didn't matter if I couldn't get out of bed. I could still do 1 push-up. I could still say 1 thing I'm grateful for. I could still pray for 1 minute. So there's no excuses for why I couldn't do these things. So the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because this is really what it took to get going, is it takes momentum. Now, I don't know if you're at rock bottom. Maybe you're not at rock bottom. I'm going to fast forward, actually. Let me finish the story so I can come back to it. But now, today, I'm running a successful coaching business. I committed to doing that. I've been doing this now for a year. And I've been traveling the world, and I've been going on dates with beautiful women. And I've really, in this 2.5 years since this happened, I've completely changed my life around. But I would really say that it started with the tiniest first step. So if you are at rock bottom, if you feel like you're completely stuck, you need a couple things. So I want to backtrack for a second, because it didn't just start with the action. What it really started with was recognizing that I did not want to be in the same place for the next 5 years. It took if you take it a day at a time when you're in a crappy place, it doesn't mean anything. But if you take that and you stretch that timeline out over the next 5 years and you see where is your trajectory going, it's a bleak place. It's a really bad place. And you actually need this. You need to hit rock bottom, either actually or metaphorically in order to move forward. And the best way that I know how to do that is to take your current trajectory. Are you on an upward trajectory? That's awesome. If you're on a downward trajectory, where does that lead you in 5 years? And I'm not just asking you this hypothetically, like if you're stuck or if you're even coasting and you don't like where you're going, what does your life look like 5 years from now? What do your relationships look like? What does your finances look like? What does your health look like? What does your life and your fun look like? If you don't like what that looks like in 5 years, I want you to really, really sit with that. And I want you to understand that you need to understand and feel that pain, because that's what's going to motivate you to actually move forward. So that was the first step. I had to actually sit down and look at what my life looked like and see, like, okay, I'm in bed all the time. I'm not making any money. I'm depressed. I was gaining weight. I feel like shit. I'm socially anxious. I've been doing this for 6 months. If I do this for 5 years, what the hell is my life going to look like? And it scared the absolute out of me. It scared the absolute crap out of me. I did not want to be that person. And I needed to go into that place temporarily to get out of that place. So sit with that. There's nothing wrong with sitting with deeply, deeply negative emotions, because pain causes action. Pain causes action, whether it's perceived or whether it's real. This is just how we're wired, guys. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Pain causes action. Okay? Step number 1. Step number 2 was I created this little action plan. So if you're in this rock bottom place, and I'm going to talk to you as well, even if you're not at rock bottom, even if you're just coasting and you want to get to that next level and you want to really get to the next level, I'm going to talk about that as well. But for right now, if you're in this place, meditate on where you're at, meditate on when you're going to be 5 years from now, and then you want to set some daily minimum actions. It is not about, I'm sure you've been here. If you're this type of guy, you've been really productive for 6 weeks or 6 months, and then you go back down and self-sabotage, and you're really productive, and then you're back down and really productive. And you probably had that pattern for years or decades, as I had for the past. I'm 34 years old now. I feel like I figured this out really when I was about 31 years old. Okay, so if you've been in that up and down, you need to go about it a different way. And that different way is you need to set daily minimums, which means that no matter what, if you feel like absolute shit, if you have COVID, if you broke your leg, if you're heartbroken, if someone in your family dies, if you have an economic crisis, you can still do these things. You can still do 1 push-up a day. You can still say one thing you're grateful for, 1 minute of prayer, and read Napoleon Hill's self-confidence formula, and read a paragraph. And I'm going to talk about the paragraph in a minute here. But commit to this for a year. You got to commit to this for a year. This is not something you're going to do for a week and fall off. You're going to commit to it for a year. As of this point now, I've been doing it for 451, probably today it's over 450 days. So commit to it. You are going to be this new version of yourself. Very, very small commitment. Because the truth is, that whole routine should take you no more than 10 minutes for the day. And now, honestly, the routine, I've added on to it, so it takes me more like an hour a day, but that doesn't matter. When you're starting, you want to make it so friggin' easy to get started that there's no excuse. Okay, so the second step is make it so fucking manageable that there's no way that you can fail. That's the second step. And then the third step is you just need to execute on it. You need to take action. And when you take the action, guys, you should talk to yourself really positively. So the self-talk, the way that we speak to ourselves, is so critical. So when you do the action, you want to literally, I'm not joking, this is how I talk to myself. You want to say, hell yeah, dude, you did it. You took action. You didn't have to. You took action. That's awesome. You want to be on your own side internally. And for a lot of you guys, if you have negative self-talk, as I used to, and again, it still pops up from time to time, you have to be hyper aware of it. And then in that moment, you have to change it. In that moment where that internal voice is like, oh, you're a piece of crap. You're never going to change. This is the cycle that you go through. You go up and down. You're never going to figure this out. You're not good enough. You're not worthy, whatever it is. You need to catch it in that moment. And you need to be very, very hyper aware of it. And you need to change the way that you're speaking to yourself. The way that you speak to yourself creates your destiny. So This is a skill. This is an awareness. This is going to take a tremendous amount of energy at first to catch it, but you want to notice how you're speaking to yourself. And when you take the action, when you take any form of action, you want to congratulate yourself. You want to hype yourself up the same way that you would hype up your best friend if they did something. Okay, that's the next step. Now, I want to talk about the paragraph. I want to go back to the paragraph for a minute. The paragraph should be what the future state of what you want to be. So I'll give you an example. So my future state is, I am so happy and grateful that I am now helping empower people to be the best version of themselves, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. And as a result, I'm easily making 50K in my coaching business per month. Okay. I'm not making 50K a month in my coaching business right now. That is what I'm aspiring to be. And I read that every single day. I'm going to give you some weird tips here. When I'm reading this paragraph, I'm sitting down when I'm filming this video. When I'm reading this paragraph, that's just the first line, I stand up. I put my chest out. I use my emotions. I get really, really into it. I over exaggerate how I'm talking about this, because the way that you reprogram your mind, your subconscious specifically, is two ways. You reprogram it with repetition and you reprogram it with emotion. Our subconscious mind is built on emotion. It's not built on logic. So when I'm saying this, when I'm reading this to myself, I'm feeling in my body, how would it feel? How amazing would it be able to feel to help so many people and give so much value to the world and give so much value to you that in return, I'm receiving $50,000 a month. How amazing would that feel? What would I be able to do for my family? What would I be able to do for my friends? What kind of trips would I be able to take? What would I be able to do for the causes that I care about? I care about homeless people. I help homeless people quite a bit. How many homeless people would I be able to feed if I was making $50,000 a month? And I let that enter my body, my nervous system, and I get excited by it. And I practice this emotion. I literally practice the emotion of feeling grateful and excited every single day when I'm reading this. So you want to have a compelling vision for your future. And I want you to know this, guys, it does not need to be perfect. So I want you to literally pause this video right now, and I want you to write out 2 to 3 sentences of what you want your life to look like and feel like. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. It just needs to get started and it needs to be written down. So I'm not joking. Pause the video right now and go write that. It should take you no more than 5 minutes. And then when you come back from that, we'll go to the next step. Okay? But guys, this is extremely important. Knowledge is not power. Implemented knowledge is power. The information that I'm giving you doesn't mean jack crap if you don't actually act on it. So I don't want you to just consume this video. I want you to actually take action. What I'm giving you right now is what I give to my clients that I charge thousands of dollars for, and I'm giving it to you for free. So go write that paragraph, okay? And it doesn't need to be perfect. Go put it in ChatGPT if you need some help with it. ChatGPT is amazing. You can even prompt it, but you want to have this paragraph and you want to read it every single day. When I started this, the first year of reading this, I read this 3 times a day. So this is another really important thing, guys. It's not enough to have a vision of the future and just have it in the back of your head. You need to read it and remind it yourself of your goals and your characteristics and what you want to be. You need to bathe in that daily. I bathe in this every single day. It's the first thing I do in the morning. Now, if I don't do this in the morning, I feel weird. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like, ooh, what am I not doing? Okay. So these are foundational pieces, guys, that you can use to really take your life to the next level. So if you're at rock bottom, you can use this. Even if you're doing really well and you want to go to that next level, you feel like you're doing well, but you're just coasting and you want to get to that next level, this is the fuel that you need to bathe in daily. Okay. I wish this wasn't true, but the subconscious is reprogrammed through repetition. We must bathe in this continuously. Okay. So this is kind of the starter pack that I wanted to give you guys. So that is it. That's what I have for you. Now, just to summarize this video, what you want to do is you want to start with pain. You want to start with, if you look at your life and you don't like the way that it's going, I want you to look at that time horizon for 5 years. Where is your life going? And I want you to sit with that. Like, what do you feel? What's going to happen in 5 years? What to your finances, to your relationships, to your traveling, to if you're single, like, are you still single? If you're in a relationship, are you in a relationship that you want to build with someone, right? So really sit in that, because that's going to give you the fuel and motivation that you need to change. So that's step number one, is feel the pain of, is your life going in the direction that it's not? Maybe there's some parts of your life that are and some parts of your life that aren't. Step number one. Step number two, daily minimum actions, okay? Daily minimum actions that you're going to do for a year. 1 year, every single day. Can start with 5 to 10 minutes. Step number three, read your paragraph every single day with repetition and emotion. And then step number four is take messy action towards your goals. I don't know exactly what your goals are. Let's say that you want to get more social, you specifically with women. You need to start where you're at. Maybe it's starting saying hi to 5 people every single day. If you're not quite there yet, maybe it's just getting out of the house every single day. If you're past that, maybe it's giving a direct compliment to people every single day. Hey, I love your dress. Wow, you look amazing. I love your energy. How's your day going? We need to take consistent, messy action. Okay, that's what I got for you in this video, guys. Tune in for the next one.